Hello everyone, my name is Rani. My roll number is 2295580515. I am studying at Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, BTech second year CSC C section. So today I am going to give presentation on low level languages. So my topic contents are introduction, low level language, type of low level languages, types of low level languages, machine code, assembly language, assembler, and last one is conclusion. So let's see what is low level languages. What is the first? Let's see what is programming language and types of programming languages. Okay, first introduction. Programming languages defines and compile a set of instructions for the CPU central processing unit for performing any specific task. So programming language defines a set of instructions to perform any specific task for the CPU. Okay. Every programming language has a set of keywords along with the syntax that it uses for creating instructions. So, instructions such as loading register or adding two numbers, there may be a set of instructions to do specific task, right? So, every programming language has a set of keywords along with syntax that it uses for creating instructions. Okay, on the basis of this level of abstraction, there are two types of programming languages: high level language and low level languages. Here, based on their functionalities. Okay, based on these functionalities, there are two types of programming languages. They are high level languages and low level languages. The primary difference between low and high level language is that any programmer can understand, compile, and interpret a high level language feasibly as compared to the machine. Here, high level languages are human readable, human writable, and human understandable. These languages can be understood by the human, but not by the computer or machine. Okay, so these are feasible. These are easy to understand to the human. Okay, here. The machines, on the other hand, are capable of understanding the low level languages more feasibly compared to human languages. So, low level languages mm, are are mostly machine languages, like they will understand. Low level languages are used to do specific tasks by the machines, right? They will be understand by the computer, not by the human. So so some of the examples of high level languages are maybe like C, C++, etc. So in machine language they will become like a machine code assembly language, okay, which will be understand by the processor or a machine. So let's see in detail about what is low level languages. A low level programming language is a programming language that provides little or no abstraction from a computer's instruction set architecture, commands, or functions in the language map that are structurally similar to processor's instructions. So, is a programming language that provides little or no abstraction from a computer instruction set architecture. So, it doesn't give any abstraction of any functionality of a computer instruction set architecture commands. Okay, it doesn't do anything with that, or functions in the language map that are structurally similar to the processor instructions. Generally, this refers to either machine code or assembly language. So, generally, low level language refers to the machine code or assembly language. Because of low, hence the word abstraction between the language and machine language, low level languages are sometimes described as being close to the hardware. So, here I said before, high level languages are human readable, human writable, and human understandable. But coming to the low level language, it is not. It is close to the hardware. It is mostly close to the hardware. It cannot be understood by the humans, right? Programs written in low level language tend to be relatively non-portable due to being optimized for a certain type of system architecture. So, like there will be different instructions for different computers, different machines, right? So, tend to be relatively non-portable due to being optimized for a certain type of instructions, certain type of system architecture. Low level language can convert to machine code without a compiler or interpreter. So low level languages can be easily converted to machine code without a compiler or interpreter. Second generation programming language use a simple processor called an assembler, and the resulting code runs directly on the processor. So here, so when we talk about the compilation process, in the both languages, like high level language or low level language. In high level language there may be a compiler or a interpreter to compile the program, but coming to the low level language there will be a assembler which will convert the code to machine code. Okay, and resulting code runs directly on the processor. This is how the languages are converted into machine code. Next, let's see the hierarchy. Let's see the examples and hierarchy, how these will be working. High level programming languages like Fortran, C, Pascals, these are high level language which can be understood by the humans. And low level language like high level languages, they also have high level language, assembly language, machine language, and then after the hardware. Okay, these all are on the hardware. Okay, to process any instructions the hardware must be understand what to do, right? To do that we are going to write a low level language like assembly language or a machine code. So here I have kept a picture like diagram of low level and high level languages. Let's see. Here low level language contains mostly zeros and ones when it converts into machine code. Okay, but high level language we write the program means we are going to understand it. So here there's a small program, right? Sale price is equals to 1.66. If sale price is greater than 2, discount 0.1, else discount 0.05. So which is understandable to the humans. If we follow the small steps like a programming knowledge, we have some, if we have some basic knowledge of programming, so we can understand what the program is about. But coming to the low level language we cannot, because it only contains zeros and ones, right? Next, see types of low level languages. So low level languages are languages that sit close to the computers instruction set. So these are mostly close to the hardware, mostly to the computer instruction set, mostly close to the processor. An instruction set is a set of instructions that the processor understands. So these instructions are easily understood by the processor. But coming to the high level language, they have to be compiled, interpreted, and then after they have to be converted into machine code. Okay, so there are two types of low level languages. They are machine code and assembly language. So let's first see machine code. What is machine code? Machine code is a set of instructions that a CPU understands directly and can act upon. So so as I said, high level languages are also should be converted into machine code, and then after only the programs are going to execute it. So machine code is a set of instructions that a CPU understands directly and can act upon. A program written in machine code would consist of only zeros and ones, binary. So it mostly it follows only binary format like zeros and ones, only twos, that is zeros and ones. This is very difficult to write and debug. Even a very simple program could have thousands of zeros and ones in it. Example, a function in decimal hexadecimal representation of 32-bit in 86 machine code to calculate nth Fibonacci number. So here there will be contained, this is a hexadecimal representation. Okay, this is a hexadecimal there like four types of number systems we have, like octal number system, binary number system, hexadecimal number system, and decimal number system. So here is the simple hexadecimal number representations. So mostly computer uses mostly a binary and a hexadecimal. Okay, so this is the function, a function in hexadecimal representation of a 32-bit 86 machine code to calculate the nth Fibonacci number. Here it only contains like numbers which we can't, human can't able to understand what is it about. Okay, let's see assembly language. An assembly language is a type of low level language, a low level programming language that is intended to communicate directly with a computer's hardware. So it is also a programming language. It is a low level language that is intended to communicate directly with the computer's hardware. So it is easily used to communicate with the computer's hardware. Unlike machine language, which consists of binary and hexadecimal character, assembly language are designed to be readable by humans. So is this can be readable by the humans if we follow some syntaxes. If we know syntaxes of assembly languages, instructions of it, we can easily understand. Assembly language has little semantics or formal specifications, being only a mapping of human readable symbols, including symbols, address, top codes, address, numeric constants, strings, and so on. So, as I said before, they contains any programming language. It may be like they contains any instructions, syntaxes, and some keywords, constants, opcodes, addresses, hmm, operators. So, for formal specification being only a mapping of human readable symbols. So this assembly language contains a symbol such as including a symbolic address to address opcodes, address, numeric constants, strings, and so on. Typically, one machine instruction is represented as one line of assembly code. Assemblers produce object files that can link with other object files or to be loaded or on by its own. Okay. So let's see the execution of low level language. Execution in both the languages, if we see in high level language, there will be like compiler or interpreter. When we write a program, we will just compile and interpret the program. Then after it will be converted into the machine code, and then the hardware processes it and gives the output. So it is simple. But coming to the execution of low level language, what will happen? Let's see. An assembler is a program that takes basic computer instructions and converts them into a pattern of bits that the computer's processor can use to perform its specific operations. So here we use assembler. If in case it is high level language, we use compiler or interpreter. Okay, assembly language is designed to understand instructions and provide it to the machine language for further processing. So assembly language and machine language are two low level programming languages. So this assembly language may can be understood by the human. So this code will be converted into machine code using assembler. Using assembler, this will be converted into machine code. So conclusion of this topic is low level languages have an added advantage of losing control of the CPU, but their codes are extremely difficult to understand and debug by fellow programmers. Here, as we read before, low level languages are close to the hardware because they just be a machine code, assembler, and assembly language, right? They just be a simple instructions and which will be understood by the processor easily, not to debug, not to be complexly debug. Okay, but their codes are extremely difficult to understand and debug by fellow programmers. To the machine it is easy, to the computer the lower languages is easy to understand and the process, but coming to the humans, coming to the programmers, it is difficult to understand and debug. Every other architecture family has its own assembly language set, which means that code written for one is impossible to run on the other and run on the other. So every other architecture has different assembly language set. There will be different assembly language set. We cannot perform the same we cannot debug the same code on different assembly language set, so it is somewhat difficult. And thank you. Here I am going to end my presentation.